2000 Jag S type. And replace the lower bushing on the front shock. First thing you gotta do is take this linkage off between the sway bar and the lower control arm. This guy here, I broke this one getting it off, so I gotta replace it. It was frozen into the lower control arm. Of course, got to take off the lower bolt that holds the shock to the lower control arm. I already got that loose, just popped it out of there. One thing I noticed on this bolt, here's the new bushing. And this bolt that goes through there, it's kind of loose inside there, so that may be my noise more than the bushing itself. I think that would be more snug than that. So if this lower bushing doesn't solve my problem, I may look at that a little more closely. So that kind of sounds like my noise when I go over a bump. I hear a light thud. But I was seeing a little bit of movement in that lower ball joint, or in that lower bushing, when I push things around. That's the only place I could see some movement. So I'm going to replace them and see if it gets rid of my little bit of vibration going 80 miles an hour, and also my noise when I go over bumps. I'm going to do this without taking the shock off. I'm going to show you how I do that. Oh, socket. This guy here has got some bearings on it. A big nut slides in there. Push this guy through here. Just like that. Alright, where'd you go? 30mm socket. This seems to fit pretty good. The last guy on YouTube gave me that little clue. He's still cooking. That baby is hot and smoking. A little cold here in Michigan, so I was setting some of my tools on top of the heater to get them warm. Left that one on a little too long, so it's smoking hot. The other nut here also has bearings and bushings on it. Just gotta get that. Hope that don't melt my O-ring that's on there, but oh well, O-rings are cheap. I'm gonna push this guy through. Hopefully it doesn't destroy that little rubber grommet around these things, because I want to push the other one in without taking that grommet off. That grommet is a pain in the ass to get on. Okay, it looks pretty good. Uh-oh, just lost my light. Lost one of them anyways. I think you guys still can see. Alright, ready to put some grief on this guy and see if it pops out. I did the other side yesterday. wrench. Just needed one more little 1/16 of an inch push. Not come out. The sock goes all the way through. There's my push socket. Back half. There's my bushing. Okay, let's clean it up and let's push the new one in. Okay, I got my new bushing. I got a 30mm socket. I'm going to try to squeeze this rubber bushing inside the socket so I don't damage it. And just push on the wire pieces or the actual spring clips. And hopefully it won't ruin my little bushing, but the other side I took the springs off, pulled the bushing off, but it was a pain in the ass trying to get it back together, especially when the thing's on the car. So I'm going to see if we can get this rubber grommet inside the socket. This is a fiber stick I'm using. Used to put in windshields and things like that. Alright. Here we go. Now if it stays together, I'll get it all hooked up and we'll push it in. Okay, I changed the camera angle on you guys. Now it's at the front of the shock. Might be able to see a little better this way, but I'm not real sure. Well, the bushing staying, or that little wire, that little rubber grommet staying inside the socket, so that's working out pretty good so far. Let's see once I get things lined up how it stays. I'm just screwing the thread bolt into the nuts till I start seeing it come out this other end a little bit. Here it is. Then I'll get the back one lined up. I did put some anti-seize inside the shock, so the bushing was sliding better, and also won't be easier to come out next time we do this. This car only has 40,000 miles on it. I'm surprised that bushing wore out. Of course, it doesn't look wore out. I'll show you that a little bit later, what the inside of the bushing looks like. Okay, we're ready to go. Everything's set. Hopefully you guys can see something. Got the nut, got the socket, and got the bushing. Looks like it's pretty square. Ready to push in there. Didn't take any of the rubber grommets off. So we'll see how it looks once we get through the pushing. Didn't want to take the shock off because the shock looked like that'd be a headache. Alright, she's going right in there. Well, it was. It's still going. The camera's right in the way of my view, so I can't see it. How far I'm in. Maybe you guys can let me know. Let me check the other side. The other side looks good. I think it just needs a little more muscle. Looks pretty good to me. Let's take another 1/16. Last little bit's always the hardest. It looks good to me. Bushing looks good, pressed in, square, ready to go. Okay, all you gotta do is put the shock back on, bolt that bolt in there, put your linkage on between your sway bar and your lower control arm, and hopefully that solves my problem.